Huffington Post has a great report out today detailing all the drugs that a veteran with PTSD can be prescribed, and the list is overwhelming. So I'm going to give you some of the list here, and you'll notice what's missing. So first, we go to the SSRIs and the SNRIs, which are in the antidepressant class of drugs. SSRI stands for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. In layman's terms, the idea is you flood your brain with more serotonin. Serotonin is one of the happiness chemicals. Ergo, you're happier, depression cured. SNRIs, I believe that's serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. So that's two happiness chemicals that they flood your brain with. I believe norepinephrine is more of like an upper happy feeling, like a energetic happy feeling. So that's another class of antidepressants. But let me give you the list here. This is what you can be prescribed at the VA if you're a veteran and you have PTSD. Elavil, Demelox, Wellbutrin, Celexa, Anafranil, Prestique, Norpramine, Cinequan, Cymbalta, Lexapro, Prozac, Dalmadorm, Favervin, Tofranil, Deprilept, Avanza, Norpress, Paxil, Nardil, Vivactil, Zoloft, Olapro, Effexor. Okay, I feel like I'm reading off names here from Power Rangers or from Transformers. I'm reading like robot names here. But that's the old trick that they do. Bill Maher spoken about this. I certainly don't agree with all of his views on when it comes to medicine. He's a little bit too new age bullshit believer, if you ask me. But what they do is they'll throw a Q in there or an X in there to make you go, oh, must be official. It has a weird letter, therefore must be serious. So that's just one class. Those all just for one thing. They'll look at you and say, okay, let's try this first. You don't like that one? Okay, let's take that away. Try this other one here. And they'll just go down a list to try to, figure out what the best way is to cure your PTSD. But this is all the stuff they can choose from in just one class of drugs. The next class of drugs, anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, we have Xanax, Buspar, Librium, Klonopin, Valium, Prosom, Ativan, Midazolam. Antipsychotic drugs, we have Abilify, Zafras, Prolixin, Haldol, Fanapt, L'Occitane, Latuda, Trilofan, Pimozide, Phenytoin, Seroquel, Risperdal, Theoxine, Ciprazidone. It's almost like I'm speaking a fake language. Mood stabilizers, you have Carbatrol, Depakote, Lamictal, Trileptal, Valproic acid. You have sleep aids, Butabarbital, Lunesta, Vasoflex, Rosarem, Sonata, like the car, Ambien. So, okay, understand, man, I only gave you part of the list here. The overall list was much longer. I don't even think they put them all in the article, okay? In total, over 1,500 drugs can be prescribed for PTSD at the VA, but not marijuana because of the federal laws on marijuana. Now, there are hundreds, thousands of anecdotal stories out there where people have said, no, you don't get it. I tried everything. None of it worked. I tried marijuana. It's the only thing that keeps me sane. I've had people reach out to me, not necessarily veterans, but multiple people reach out to me and say, I basically use it as medication. I use it as medication for whatever they're doing, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's other issues. They say, look, I have a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, a little bit at night, or maybe you have it twice a day, or whatever it is, just a little bit, and boom, it gets me right, it gets me good. So how can it be that not only are there anecdotal stories, but of course now recently we've been learning about studies coming from other countries where people say, no, this is actually very effective in treating serious issues. They've done studies with MDMA, for example. They've done studies with hallucinogenic drugs like magic mushrooms and peyote and things like that. And they go, no, this seriously, there's a lot here. There's something helping here. So how can it be that in the United States of America, we have all this evidence, a mountain of evidence, and you can't have that drug? You could have 1,500 or more others, but you can't have that drug. Well, maybe it does have something to do with the fact that the makers of all of these drugs view that drug as their fucking competition. Now, understand, I'm not part of, there's a certain, kind of progressive, like I mentioned, Bill Maher, he might be in this group, where they just hate everything involved with pharmaceutical companies, and they think it's all a scam, and everything they do is bad. I'm not in that crowd, okay? I believe in science, and plenty of stuff that the pharmaceutical companies come up with and sell, it's based on science, and it fucking helps you, right? So there's a lot of people who they take some of these drugs, and it works for them. A lot of people swear by SSRIs and say it saved their life. Great! I'm not coming to take that away from you. I'm not the opposite extreme, where I'm saying, let's take away all the pharmaceuticals and only prescribe marijuana now. That's not what I'm saying at all. Whatever works for you, whatever has been studied and proven to work and works for you, you and your doctor can figure out the best answer. But what I am saying is, how dare you and how could you leave marijuana off that list when it's obvious that there are upsides and it's obvious that it's helped many people?